certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Sorry about the little delay there. I apologize. I haven't done shows for so long that now doing shows is stealing my voice. My voice is gone. So I've been here. I've got a pocket full of... I'm not pulling out my dick. Don't worry. I got a pocket full of cough drops. I'm a goddamn amateur now. I can't help it. I'm a part-time broadcaster, for God's sake. Welcome to the show. Oh, my goodness. Strippers Got Me Banned has been messaged me a little bit ago, and he goes, you got to be a subscriber for 24 hours in the YouTube chat since when? And I'm like, it's been that way for like a year or so. That's a subtle way of pumping up the sub numbers. Why not? I mean, to me, that's a smart idea. You want to come in, you want to hang out with us, you want to talk a little shit, but you don't want to be a subscriber or whatever. Excuse me, by the way. Go over to Rumble. You want to chat in the YouTube chat? At least throw us the subscription. It's nice of you. I appreciate it. Or check out our clips. Hit like and subscribe. There's a myriad of ways to do it. The prison thing. Well, not prison. I'm sorry. I'm hardening myself. The jail bit is working on Rumble, is hitting on Rumble, man. Usually clips don't hit on Rumble. You don't get Rumble hitting clips. Rumble's not really, it's more of a live streaming platform than it is a recorded stuff platform, but that one's working out, so thank you guys. We put some Candace Owens, Steven Crowder, Charlie Kirk stuff up there for today. I think we put some NBA gambling stuff up there today. Of course, yesterday there was the hour-and-a-half synopsis of my time in jail. The kids were just here. They just took off. They're all driving now. I've been away for a while. They all got their driver's license, so they took off. We had some Domino's pizza, which I desperately need in my diet, is sausage and chicken pizza. It's with and wash it down with an ice cold Coca-Cola. That's what I needed to get myself into decent shape. Pizza and soda. Welcome to the program. We have a very good one for you today. If my voice holds up, it's going to be great. It's the B show. It's the evening show. So I got a little more time for you. Got a little more time to hang out with you a little bit. But we also have a lot to get to today. We got those the hurricanes in Jamaica. We got to check that out. Wagwan, everything not Gwambi Irie down there in Jamaica. There was a graph I saw of the internet activity in Jamaica. And it was up. And you could tell when the hurricane hit because it just went nosedive right to zero. Everything just shut off. And some of the videos that they've got of that thing, it's remarkable. And, you know, the really shitty thing, and it's kind of nice to know that this isn't an American thing, but it's also shitty to know that it's an everywhere thing. Looting. Like, this natural disaster comes through. It's going to kill some of your neighbors. You know, in a moment where everybody should be paddling up the same stream, you know, everybody should be rowing in the same direction, where you should all be in it together, just stealing shit. And it's not like, Wagwan, we need bread, nah. It's just like in America when there's riots or there's natural disasters. It's just stealing consumer goods, taking a chance to just steal shit. It's disappointing, man. It's like, I understand why people don't follow the news, because I follow it every day, and it bums me. There are some days where it legitimately gets to me. It bums me out. You know, I you just watch this hurricane, you're like, oh my God, that's terrible. And then there are sometimes you see a hurricane, like, you know, I think when, what was it, Helene in North Carolina before the 2024 election, when Hurricane Helene hit last year, I think, you know, everybody, you kind of saw that banding together and everybody was working together and pulling in the same direction. But then you see like Katrina, or you see this hurricane in Jamaica, and it's just, you see the looting, and you see, like, I saw some guy, he was dragging an ATM, took it upon himself to steal an ATM after through the hurricane. Just really depressing, shitty human behavior. The kind of stuff that you see that reminds you, we're not quite there yet. We're not there, but we've got that. Bryce Mitchell has turned on Donald Trump. You know, the guy who thinks Hitler only went crazy because of the meth. He's back again. He's no Trump guy. We have this clip that has no news value. It's just so funny to me. There was an MSNBC host who I think was talking to J.B. Pritzker, Nicole Wallace. And Nicole Wallace says, you know, it is just disgusting that these righties say that we call Trump Hitler. Nobody on this network is calling Trump Hitler. And there's, I think, a 2-minute video clip of just MSNBC people and Democratic leaders straight up calling Trump Hitler for a solid 2 minutes. It's kind of a cheap shot. It's easy to do, but I just thought it would be fun to go over for tonight. We also have a bunch of escaped monkeys carrying hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID. It's like I had a family reunion, and they all got turned loose in a truck. That is in... Where did that happen? Tulane. That would be Oklahoma, Mississippi. All right, Mississippi Wildlife and Fisheries had to clean up a truck rollover that spilled out a shitload of aggressive monkey, not just any monkeys, aggressive monkeys carrying Hep C, herpes, and COVID. That's how Jenny got it in Forrest Gump. And they've apparently gotten all the monkeys destroyed. They said they've destroyed all the monkeys but one. I believe this is how outbreak starts. So we got one monkey running around, herpes, COVID, hepatitis C, a veritable petri dish, and he's somewhere in Mississippi. And you know that some bayou creature in Mississippi is going to get drunk enough to fuck it, and now we've got a whole new kettle of fish to deal with. So a lot to talk about today. We're going to have a lot of fun. I promise. We're going to talk to each other. We're going to hang out. There's still some stragglers who have some jail questions. We'll get to those. My Minnesota Vikings basically used Carson Wentz as a sacrificial lamb last Thursday, and now a lot of the Vikings videos I'm seeing on YouTube are all of the Vikings podcasts I watch going, why did they do that to Carson Wentz? Like, there was one of them I was watching before the kids got here that it was saying, like, should the Vikings, like, give Carson Wentz a bonus? Should they give him, like, money under the table? Because if you don't know, Carson Wentz, our backup quarterback, underwent season-ending shoulder surgery after he just got completely obliterated against the Chargers, was in clear pain all game long, and now he's got to have season-ending shoulder surgery. They sacrificed the guy. There's no other way to put it. He shouldn't have been out there. They sacrificed his health, and I mean, Jesus Christ, I know football's a tough guy sport, but it was beyond the pale. And you know that if he had season-ending surgery after the game, that he was in no shape to compete in that game to begin with. So the Vikings are, Kevin O'Connell especially, has taken it on the chin today in the sports world. Let's go to a few people. Red Fox Mad. Oh, there you go. $4.99 from Red Fox Mad. says, should the Vikings get in trouble for lying about Carson Wentz's shoulder injury, loss of draft picks, fine, head coach suspension? No, because we didn't lie about the injury. We said he was injured. He was on the injury report. We did it by the book. We just left him out there to get the living shit kicked out of him for two reasons. One, I don't think they wanted to damage Max Brosmer because he's our only backup we have left. I think we have Desmond Ridder on our practice squad. And then, J.J. McCarthy, I don't think they want some veteran backup hanging around, over J.J. McCarthy's head. They want to hand the team over to him and let her buck. So, no, I don't think there's going to be any punishment for the Vikings. I don't think they did anything, like as far as the rules go, I don't think they did anything wrong. Redbird with $1 says, you already know the answer. You just don't want to admit why some areas handle natural disasters better than others. Oh, are we? Is that where we're going? Is that where we're going? Oh, you know what? I did say Hurricane Helene in North Carolina. That's a white area, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. That's a white area. All right. I got it. Jim tells you, says, your voice sounds kind of gravelly. Are you getting laryngitis? I'm either getting a cold, or I think more what it is that I haven't done shows for so long. My voice isn't used to doing it, and I think I'm losing my voice a little bit. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I think it's due tonight's show, and then it's a waiting game. Honky says the one surviving monkey is now spreading conspiracies about Charlie Kirk getting whacked by Israel and France's first lady having a wang. Hey, wait a minute. That's Candace Owens, not a monkey. I see what you did. You pleased with yourself? Are you pleased with yourself? Porque la, with a little Spanish, if we will. That means what it is, or what it's something. K is what? Por is for. So what for? What is it for? $5 says boo hoo hoo. Okay, so apparently we don't give a shit about the people suffering from the hurricanes. Sorry. I thought we were going to talk about the hurricanes a little bit tonight. I thought we were going to have some fun with the hurricane shit. Well, not have some fun. I thought we were going to talk about it, but apparently nobody gives a fuck. Everybody's shitting on poor Jamaica. Damn it anyway. The cleaner says Aaron needs to quit letting Johnny go balls deep. That's not why my voice is not shut. Now, think of the visual of this. And fuck you, because you brought it up. What he's trying to say is that Johnny is shoving his cock so far down my throat that it's going balls deep and it's damaging my vocal cords, and that's why I can't talk. Thank you. Honky says it means why her. No, K is what? K in Spanish. That? I thought K was what? Oh. I took Spanish for 4 years, I'll have you know. What is what in Spanish? K. Q. Look. K. Right there. What? K. What does por mean in Spanish? Bye. Fuck me. All right, never mind. I got that completely wrong. 4 years of Spanish, and I completely fucked it up. I fucking suck it. You know what? I took Spanish because you had to. And I don't think I did better than a C any of my 4 years. Guys, we have a lot to get to tonight. Let's do it. We are at 95 away from today. 95 is today's goal. Thank you guys so much for your generosity this week. You're still ahead for the morning. You don't have much to go in the evening here, obviously. So thank you so much. I have been so busy today. Obviously, I had to get the show ready early. The kids were here after school. So much going on. Before I got on today, somebody was saying, is the thing Candace Owens is saying about Erica Kirk true? And I can't find anything that Candace Owens has said about Erica Kirk today. I do know that Candace Owens came back from her, what do you call it? Her sabbatical or vacation. But I didn't see her say anything about Erica Kirk. She released some new texts from Charlie Kirk. But I didn't see anything about Erica. Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk. All I could see was she shared private text messages. Here it is. Candace Owens shares private text between her and Charlie Kirk where he predicts his early death. This is so it starts with Kane. I think it was someone saying Kanye. These are his texts to Candace Owens. It says, "You are going to be the Iron Lady of America. I see it so freaking clearly. I might be Moses, though. I might not see this whole thing through, Lamau. If that is the case, be my David. Dude, you don't even realize your power yet." All right, do you understand that if these texts came out and Charlie Kirk was still alive, we'd all be making fun of these two? Like, we would all be calling these two self-important douchebags if Charlie Kirk hadn't been shot in the throat. Like, if Charlie Kirk was alive today, he never got shot, that event in Utah went off without a hitch, we'd all be reading these texts and going, ew, gross, you two. This is how you talk to each other. But because it kind of became prophetic, now it's like, holy shit, this guy kind of saw it coming. Dude, you don't even realize your power yet. Because, like, without him getting shot, this looks like two high school juniors getting high for the first time. If I tell you the true prophecy, I know in my gut it's really sad, but I hope it's wrong. Anyway, I am not sure if I will live to see the end of this revolution. Again, that's Charlie Kirk. I believe you were the piece God meant me to meet that will finish the fight. Since the beginning of TPUSA, I knew in my gut that I might get wiped out at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time, like all the time. Anyway, that's depressing convo for another right El Mao. I think he means night. Oh, another time. Candace Owens responded, "That is so weird. More a fear manifestation than an actualization. Not really afraid of it, but I'm just telling you what I know to be true." So in the weeks and months leading up to him getting shot, this is not the first time we've seen texts where Charlie Kirk kind of felt this way. In the weeks and months leading up to this, Charlie Kirk did have some kind of feeling about his death. He felt that something was coming, something was impending, if you will, which is really, really odd. He said that it was something like he's pissing off the wrong people. He's worried. Oh, he was worried the Israelis were going to kill him if he stepped out of line on the Israel issue. Then there's these texts to Candace Owens. I'm telling you, if they don't poison her coffee, I think she's going to keep coming out with more. I think she's drip feeding us. I think she's slow rolling all this information. I think she has a lot more. You know, she said not too many weeks ago, before I went on the inside, she said that she had a kill switch, that if something were to happen to her, there are people who have information to release about her and about Charlie Kirk. Then she named some of the people she gave it to, which I would be really pissed if I was one of those people, because clearly that means if they're going to target her, they're also going to target them. But Candace Owens is still in the text leaking business. As far as the Erica Kirk stuff, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about her saying anything about Erica. I think if she says anything about Erica Kirk, I think she'll lose a lot of the support she has right now. Whether she's right or she's wrong, it's not something that's going to lend itself to real positive feedback. So I don't think so. Sam Show says they were huffing paint for sure. Cleaner says these texts are fucking fake. I don't know. Oh, Jesus H. Christ says, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Charlie Kirk is not dead. Real Raw News said Charlie Kirk is now living on Epstein Island. What are our friends at Real Raw News saying these days? We haven't checked in with them in some time. Real Raw News. Military ramps up efforts to put down possible food stamp riots on November 1st. Okay, that one doesn't seem like a conspiracy. That one seems like something that could happen. You've got the National Guard being deployed in different cities. There will be food riots when food stamps go away. Crime will go up when food stamps go away. So that's that one. Write that one down. Real Raw News could be onto something. White hats. If you don't remember what the white hats are, so in this great cosmic struggle we're having, the black hats are like the globalists. The white hats are the people working behind the scenes, like the nationalists who are trying to save America. White hats find more Antifa contraband at California food bank. Okay, see, now Real Raw News is just starting to sound like news I'd believe. Trump preps National Guard to deal with possible food stamp riots. Again, I'd buy that one. 82nd Airborne soldiers foiled daring cartel border breach in Arizona desert. Again, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time being skeptical of the Real Raw News, but look, man, that's the shit my uncle reads. He's on top of it. Jesus H. Christ says Real Raw News finally gets it right. I also had people writing to me today saying, Aaron, the reason Trump isn't releasing those emergency funds to keep the food stamp system going is because he's trying to encourage self-deportation of illegals, because a lot of those food stamps are benefits that undocumented people can get. I don't know if that's true, but I asked this morning. That's the explanation I've been given. Gray Duckling with $5. Thank you, pal. Let's see what we've got here. He sends us a clip. What did I say now? Is that Johnny is shoving his cock so far down my throat that it's going balls deep and it's damaging my vocal cords, and that's why I should know better by now. And God damn it, I don't. RP says the morning crew is a bunch of jabronis. We make the goal more than they do. Well, the morning crew always hits the goal. It's just that sometimes, okay, they struggle with it more than you guys do. You guys knock it out faster than they do. They always get it, but there's always like, it's like you're pulling oxen across a bridge, Whereas you guys are mighty stallions. But hey, you're still $90 away. We can still fuck this thing up. All right? Hey guys, don't go jacking each other off quite yet. All right? $90 away from tonight, 190 for tomorrow night. You can still lose. All right? Let's not Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. I am excited to say we are nearly back at 400 memberships on YouTube. We are over 300 on Rumble. So we're about 250, 275 away from where we were before I went away and we had all those expirations. Keep gifting those memberships. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. All right. Why did it have to turn into morning versus evening already? I go to both chats. I go into both chats to see what you guys are rapping about, and now we're shitting on each other. Benchtop Model says, we work in the morning. The evening crew is a bunch of layabouts. There we go. Somebody standing up for the morning show people. There it is. Triple N says, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? That is, where is the library? Right? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca is where is, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? That is definitely where is the library. In English. Where is the library? Yes, I've still got it. Still got it. Sam Show says he had no goal this morning and he did that god-awful Emiro bullshit. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That was last night I did that god-awful bullshit. Thank you very much. Get it right. Get it right when I do my awful bullshit. Okay, let's go and take a look at some of this hurricane stuff we've got. Hurricane Melissa. No, that is not what was in Keanu Thompson's texts recently. Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 storm this afternoon with 185 mile per hour winds. Holy shit. And to see what 185 mile per hour windstorms look like, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jamaica today. Wagwan, everything's up like 7, up. This windstorm is a Razcat Bombaclot, man. You know, the balls it takes to ride one of these out. I mean, you see people in Florida do it all the time. But just riding out these Category 5 hurricanes, well, like those are not shrubberies. Those are fully grown, adult, aged trees, and they are bending. Like, those aren't little palm trees. Well, some of them are literally little palm trees. But this tree here, that ain't no shrinking violet. I mean, this thing's bending. This thing's being pulled out of the ground. And this person's standing their ground. They're staying home. It's fucking ballsy. Yeah, there's one that's already come out of the ground and fallen down. I don't get it, man. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Although, is there any safe place in Jamaica? It's a rather thin landmass out in the middle of the sea. I wonder if there is a safe space to go. Either way, like, get out of the coastal home, you know, go inland for just a little bit and then come back and clean up what's left. I never understood, other than foolish pride, I never really got why we did the stand your ground, I'm staying home, I'm not leaving thing. Because, like, there's a chance that your home makes it, but you don't. Honky says, why do they name hurricanes after women? They come in hot and wet and they leave with your house and car. I like that one. Ryobi says there's nowhere to go in Jamaica, but Joey Caravello says there's caves in the mountains. Oh, 09 Canyon says you don't leave because there are looters. That one's not bad. That's not a bad reason to stick around. Well, make sure you're armed. D. Luke says, I know someone there that got stuck. Flights home kept getting delayed, and she had no way to get back before the storm. Well, that's the thing. Is like they see these hurricanes forming. Try to plan ahead if you can. But I don't know. Again, this is my ignorance of the area. This is my ignorance of Jamaica. Is there, how do you say this without sounding a bit like an elitist? Is there a lot to wreck? You know what I mean? Like, the global warming people do this all the time. The climate change people go, oh, these storms are growing in power, and that means that the climate is changing. And you're like, well, how do you know these storms are growing in power? They're doing more money and monetary damage than they ever have before. And that's kind of a misleading statistic, because when you have a country like the United States of America who continues to build along the coast, you're getting more and more valuable homes, more and more valuable businesses. So estimating the loss of property in dollars is kind of a disingenuous way to measure the full power of a storm. See, like, you go to Malibu. If there's a storm in Malibu, yeah, it's going to take out expensive real estate. Meanwhile, you could have a more powerful storm hit Jamaica, and the crab industry might be affected for a few days, and maybe a little drug smuggling. And no, Sean, we're not going to make those, because I respect gag orders. Thank you very much. I call me old-fashioned. Thank you very much. But thank you for the $2, buddy. I appreciate it. Benchtop Model says, yes, Jamaica has a lot to wreck. The coast is where the drug money lives. Well, okay, fine. Legal. How about that? Legal. Oh, Shit Show is here. He's one of the people that we kind of riled up a bit with the jail talk. It is amazing. Like, I talk about the week I had in the Stearns County Jail, and you can tell when I'm doing the shows and people are enjoying them that I'm not doing it to upset anyone. Like, they're like, upsetting or triggering anyone is the furthest thing from my mind. I think if you do it and you're trying to do it, it's kind of disingenuous to act surprised. But when you're not trying to at all and people are just so weak-minded that you just bend them out of proportion, it really is, it's a character study to me. It's a study in psychosis, if you will. I had people emailing me saying, you lied about where you ran to from the jail. I'm like, what? Because that's their big thing. If they have a theory in their head and it doesn't come true, then it can't be that they got it wrong. I must have lied. I said the other day, I ran 4.5 miles from the Stearns County Jail to the Quick Trip by my house. And they're like, that is a lie. Now, I don't know why you need that to not be true. It's not smart. Again, it's like when I talked about, having fun, doing the things I did in jail, the basketball, the day room, all of that stuff. You're like, Aaron, he can't be good at basketball. He can't do it. It's like, guys, I'm still in jail. Like, it's still, like I said, it's more fun to be sitting there bored at home, free, than having a good time in jail. Like, you can have, it's like I have to try and manage their soft egos, their delicate egos. And so they're like, no, he cannot have run 4.5 miles. You understand that me running 4.5 miles from jail in 30-degree weather in shorts because I didn't know I was getting out at 5 a.m. and didn't want to bother anybody. You understand that makes me look like a retard, right? Like, there is nothing about running 4.5 miles to a Quick Trip from the police station, especially when there's a hotel lobby less than a mile away that I forgot about. You understand none of that makes me look good, but it pisses you off somehow that you have to go, no, that can't be what happened. Some would say you're mentally ill. I wouldn't. I have a good time. You make me laugh. So don't listen to those people. Keep entertaining your daddy. But I looked it up, and sure enough, they were right. I did lie. It was not 4.5 miles. It was 4.6 miles, which is 0.1 more than 4.5. I can't keep getting away with it. Damn it. And then it was like another 1.4 miles to my house. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to see if I can get that Uber. Note to self, just next time, bring your phone, bring your wallet, bring your keys. Or you know what? Note to self, don't make there be a next time. That would be good. That would be okay. So I did find that really entertaining, that I'm not even trying, and you just rattle the fuck out of these people, and they get, like, if I go to the chat right now, there's going to be somebody in the YouTube chat, probably Shit Show, denying that they're worked up about it, because they see when I spit it back at them, they see that they're insane, and then they have to quick cover it up and hide it. And sure enough, oh no, there's a good one here. Hobo Chili Recipe says, you're not mentally ill. You're just extremely overweight. Well, see, now that doesn't count. Oh, wait, you're a psychopath. Forget it. You're portly and crazy. See, that's Hobo Chili Recipe. That doesn't count. You know what? I like that. I like that the crazy people are taking responsibility and finally realizing they're nuts. That is good. That, you know what? That is a positive. That makes me think that there's hope for you guys. Really. Tampa guy says, Aaron, are you completely rehabilitated? Rehabilitated? Don't believe I know the meaning of the word. I know what you think it means. To me, rehabilitated is just a word so a young fella like you can put on a suit and tie and have a job. What do you want to know? Am I sorry for what I did? There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about what I did. I want to go back and talk to that young man. I want to talk to him. But I can't. all that's left is this old man here and all the time in the world to think about it. So go ahead and stamp your papers, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Because frankly, I don't give a damn. Is that the answer you were looking for? Is that what we were supposed to do? My Lost Interest says, how long before Tukey interviews the gas station attendant? It depends on if he's taken his pills that day. It depends on if his split personality disorder is cured. It depends on if his mental illness has been looked into. If it's unaccounted for and he's not medicated, then I would say probably by the end of the week, or he's an utter failure. But if he's medicated and he's got it, if he's got his wits about him and he hasn't gone full retard, I'm guessing he'll probably just let it go, because that's what a sane, rational person would do. You know what? You're right. Probably go back to the by the end of the week thing. Rexstart parody account says Aaron started running. He didn't know if he was running away from something or towards something. He just had to run. Sam Show says, you're doing it again, Aaron. No shit. Am I fucking him up again? God damn. Why don't you guys stop me? Why don't you guys stop me when I'm upsetting all these people? Nader Kraken Slappin says, what's a Tukey? That is correct. Nader P says, stop lying. You ran to Quick Trip just to get fresh donuts. God damn it. I wish you guys would just let me have my hero tale of a big, fat, dumb retard who forgot to call for a ride before he got released from jail and had to run 4.5 miles to a gas station. I wish you would just let me have my super cool story where I'm an awesome guy who's too retarded to make a phone call. Why can't you let me be the hero? God damn it. All right. Aaron, where did Mikey touch you? Tell us it's okay. Mikey is a good man. Mikey is a good man, and he would never do anything like that. In fact, anything Mikey's ever done wrong, I think it was done out of self-defense. Mikey is a decent, honest American who's just trying to make it in a biased, dare I say, racist world. All right, let's get into this Bryce Mitchell thing, and then we'll catch up with you guys later. $90 away from tonight. Just a silly, nonsensical, jumping topic to topic kind of show. If you can't have fun watching this, you might just be a retard who's addicted to drama. So Bryce Mitchell, the UFC fighter, the last time we checked in on Bryce Mitchell, let's get everybody all caught up. The last time we checked in on Bryce Mitchell, he was talking about how, that Adolf Hitler was a decent enough guy until he started getting into that meth. If anything, Mark Maron stole his Theo Von bit from Bryce Mitchell. We'll look at that as, oh my God, Kelsey Grammer and wife Kate Walsh have welcomed their 4th child. Kelsey Grammer's 70 years old, and he just had his 8th kid, his 4th with this woman. Kelsey, stop. This is like, which famous actor is like 80-something and just had another baby, like 4 years ago? Pacino. Pacino was like 83, and he had another kid. Guys, we're good. Look, if you're 80 and you've never had one and it's something you want to do before you kick off, all right, fine, forgivable. But when you've already got a few, you're not going to be at their graduation. You might not even be around long enough for them to form memories of you. It's really kind of not fair. It's sort of perverse and egotistical to have kids at that age. But let's do the Bryce Mitchell Hitler thing. And if you'll remember, Bryce Mitchell is a really, really big Donald Trump fan. Loves Trump. And recently, he went online to just air his thoughts, which, as we know, always works well for Bryce, as we're about to watch now. And it turns out that Bryce is thinking that maybe he's turned on old Dandy Don, that maybe he's done with Donald Trump, and he's off the Trump train. First, let's go ahead and check in on Bryce. This was the last time that we saw Bryce Mitchell. This was the last time Bryce Mitchell had a thought that he felt he should share with the rest of the world. We got this.
Hitler, hell and the Nazis. I really don't think that he was, because I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination. I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with.
Because as you know, in page 83 of Mein Kampf, Hitler talks about his extensive love of trout fishing and the best way to mix up trout bait and, the whole thing. It's some people have said that it's almost too in-depth, that he gets into the weeds a little too much. So Bryce Mitchell says Hitler's a guy he would have gone fishing with, but it was that daggum meth. I mean, isn't that the same thing Mark Maron said in his Theo Von bit? He's like, Hitler, I bet you didn't even want to kill all the Jews. That was just the meth making you crazy, dog.
He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out that were destroying his country and turning them all into gays.
There's something about, till the day I die, I will never get over the Arkansas accent calling gay people the gays. I don't think I'll ever be able to hear that and not chuckle. Wanted to get, the Jews were turning the country all to the queers. So again, we're going to play his thoughts on Donald Trump, but I just want to give you a taste of what Bryce Mitchell came to us with the last time he had a deep thought.
Destroying his country and turning them all into gays. They were gaying out the kids. They were queering out the women. They were queering out the dudes. They were, you know what her first tranny surgery ever was? Happened.
This guy, look at how tightly he's keeping his lips pursed. He does not want to make any audible sounds during this segment. If he could accidentally, without Bryce knowing, pull the cord on his camera, he would do it.
Be in Germany before Hitler took over. You know the books that everybody makes fun of Hitler burning? You know what the books was? Queer books.
Queer books. Which, by the way, if you're pro-free speech, still not okay books to burn. Still not good to burn the quote-unquote queer books just because they're queer books.
Hitler burned queer books because Hitler didn't want a bunch of queers destroying his nation. They can't produce children.
What?
Okay.
That's the first time hearing of this. So that was Bryce Mitchell, the first time that he felt he really needed to tell us something, that he really needed to come to us with something urgent. Well, a lot of things have changed in the last couple of years. Bryce Mitchell has been able to, string a couple of wins together. He's still in UFC. Honestly, though, credit to Dana White for not firing him after that. He said, no, I'm not going to fire him. My guys can say whatever they want. And then they got to deal with it in the octagon. I thought that was a real ballsy move of Dana White because literally any organization on earth would have canned him for saying that. So he said what I thought he said was fucking stupid, but I'm not firing him for it. So Bryce came out this week and he had some thoughts on Donald Trump. Bryce, if you will, go off, King.
Hey, I want to let y'all know I'm not with Donald Trump no more. I don't support him. I don't like him. I think he's a corrupted leader. And, it took me a while to come to that conclusion, but I finally am coming to it. I do not like the guy at all. The first thing for me was he didn't release the Epstein files. They're even acting like they didn't exist.
I'm going to say this. Fucking based Bryce Mitchell so far. I mean, so far, so good. Now, Bryce Mitchell before this is important to know. Bryce Mitchell said he would die for Donald Trump. He'd lay down his life for Donald Trump. He liked him that much. So Bryce Mitchell, as you can tell from his take on the Nazis and his take on Donald Trump, he's kind of an all or nothing sort of dude. There's not a lot of middle ground with Bryce Mitchell.
And, of course, they're sending Israel and Ukraine all of our tax dollars, just like the numbnuts before him did. Putting America last. And now he's blaming the beef farmers for the price of beef. Hey, I'm not biased, man. He talked a good game. He tricked me. I was fooled. I admit it.
I have a hard time believing, Bryce, that anyone gets one over on you. You even know where all the good queer books are. He's not wrong, though. Like, we want to make fun of him because he got an Arkansas accent, but it's like the reasons. He's like, man, I said I'd take a bullet for Donald Trump. Now I've been doing my research. I don't like him no more. And we're like, listen to this rube. And he's like, he's not releasing the Epstein files. He's giving Israel all the money, and he's blaming the beef farmers, and he's not America first. You're like, Hold on a second. Give me a check. Holy shit, the guy's right. Like, this stupid inbred hillbilly fucker with brain damage is correct.
Okay, now let me tell you how bad I think this is, though. This is really this bad, guys. I want y'all, if you're a Christian, I want you to get into Revelation 13:3.
Time out. Let's get into it. Revelation 13:3 describes a vision of a beast with 7 heads, where one head appears to suffer a mortal wound that is then healed, causing the whole earth to marvel and follow it. This passage is interpreted as a depiction of a powerful ruler, often referred to as the Antichrist, whose apparent death and miraculous resurrection will lead to global admiration and worship. Shot in the ear, healed, admiration. I mean, at least half the country, right? Is Bryce Mitchell trying to say that Donald Trump is the Antichrist foretold of in Revelations?
And I want you to read that verse.
Because I thought it was Gozer the Gozerian.
Yeah, about the Antichrist, about the one who was fatally wounded in the head. Then he was miraculously healed, and the whole world marveled at him and said no man can make war with him. Yeah, I do think that Donald Trump is that beast of Revelation 13:3. Yeah, go read it. Go read it. There ain't another man that's ever walked the planet that fits Revelation 13:3.
All right, calm down. There's literally thousands of people who have walked the earth who fit the description of the Antichrist in Revelations 13:3. There's a lot of people.
Read the rest of the chapter.
Phineas Gage, technically.
And it'll tell you the mark of the beast is coming in 42 months. Now, I'm not saying that I know that Donald Trump is this man.
Don't be so humble, Bryce.
Of Revelation 13:3. I'm just saying he's the only one who could be right now. Go read Revelation 13. He's the only man that fits that description. Yeah, and I'm totally done with the dude. He's done to me. He's done. He's a goner. He's compromised. He's right up there with the rest of the pedophiles, man.
Holy shit.
It sucks to say that because I supported him for a long time, but he's a good actor. And he had me fooled for a long, long time.
I mean, if you're like a lefty person, does this bring you some kind of joy? Like, you can kind of be like, I told you so. Even though Bryce Mitchell and you don't see eye to eye on anything. Like, you were like, yeah, Donald Trump's a con artist and he's got you all fooled. And like Bryce Mitchell goes, well, he's a con artist and a good actor and he had me fooled. I mean, it might be a hollow victory, but it's a victory all the same. You called it. But Donald Trump will remember this as the day that he lost the Bryce Mitchell contingent. How do you think he's going to feel? By the way, somebody naming the Hurricane Bombaclot. I love that. Very good. Yeah, look at that. People are saying Bryce is cooking. This man clearly is a genius, and I'm tired of pretending that he isn't. He kind of does have it down. Like, Jesus H. Christ says he kind of sounds like Granny. A little bit. Name all of them then. Oh, One Head Rex or Sam Show says name all of them. Name all the Antichrist now, Aaron. Go. I'm sorry. Pablo Pacheco says sorry, but he missed. Trump's wound wasn't mortal. That's a good point. It was just it was a grazing of the ear, so that's a little off. My Lost Interest says eventually even a based Bryce leans into dumb. Randall Flagg says, Aaron, where are your Aryan Nation prison tats? You need it for street cred. I made mine a tramp stamp. I kind of wanted to be, I wanted to be fun with it. I wanted to own it, put my own spin on it. So I went tramp stamp. Wally World gifting 5 memberships over on Rumble. Thank you very much.
I have sworn on the altar of God, total resistance against every form of tyranny, against the mind of men.
I appreciate that, buddy. I'm sorry about my cough drop wiggling around. I'm trying to keep my voice going. $65 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very, very much. It's been very easy goal going so far this week, and I mean, I would love to keep that up. Tilt says Netanyahu was 149 of the beasts. Oh. So you can be multiples of it. I see. Well, thank you for giving me a head start. NF Cap says Trump isn't the Antichrist. He isn't even trying to be ruler of the world. He's leaning into the idea a lot because he knows it will make the crazies act crazy and they can't organize. Are you trying to tell me that Bryce Mitchell is a crazy? How dare you? And no, SH, my white Aryan Nation tattoo tramp stamp does not say Boner Garage. That is a disgusting rumor, and I want you to dispel it now at once. Thank you. Hobo Chili Recipe says Aaron has the same desk as Alex Jones, but they're all menus. It's not true. These are not all of the papers I have on my desk are menus. These are all. Let me see that one. No, that's not a menu. None of these are menus. And I don't have as many papers on my desk as Alex Jones. I've got like 5 or 6, I think. Saint Caesar, if I finally read this, will you stop posting it, please? Hey, Aaron, did you see Chris Jericho is re-signed to WWE and is having a retirement tour and a Hall of Fame induction, is expected to be John Cena's final opponent? Holy shit. There. Did I do it right? I mean, that is kind of cool, but you kind of ruined it for me by the last 2 days you've been writing it in my chat nonstop. Chris Jericho is reportedly signed with WWE and is expected to make a return very soon, possibly at Saturday night's main event or Survivor Series. That would be a cool last match from for John Cena, would be Jericho. They're saying that, because WWE's been putting these teaser videos in of some superstar, and they think it could be Chris Jericho. Let's see. They're saying you can hear some of Chris Jericho's first WCW.
I have sworn on the altar of God, total resistance.
Sorry. They say you can hear some of Chris Jericho's original WCW theme in this teaser video. Well, hold on. What is Jericho first WCW theme? Let's listen to that first. That is really fucking gay. Okay, and now let's see if that sounds like... Now let's see if we can hear that from 8 seconds to 12 seconds into this video. I didn't hear it. Hold on. I didn't hear it. Sorry. But could it be Chris Jericho? God damn, how old is Chris Jericho now? He's got to be 50-something at this point. I mean, he looks every day of it. Chris Jericho age. 54 years old. Holy shit. Well, one more time around the world, I suppose. Thank you very much to My Lost Interest for gifting a membership. I appreciate that. $60 away from tonight. Thank you very, very much. Such a kind gesture for you to throw in those memberships. Again, $60 away from calling it a W for the evening. Well, there you go, Saint Caesar. I gave you a little Chris Jericho talk. Saint Caesar says, I'm retarded, Aaron. Sorry. Hobo Chili Recipe writes, hey, Aaron, did you see that Chris Jericho is re-signed to WWE and is having a retirement tour and a Hall of Fame induction and is expected to be John Cena's final opponent? Dr. Silverwolf writes, hey, Aaron, did you see that Chris Jericho is re-signed to WWE and is having a retirement tour and a Hall of Fame induction and is expected to be John Cena's final opponent? Matt Poster. Hey, Aaron, did you see Chris Jericho is resigned to WWE and is having a retirement tour and a Hall of Fame induction and is expected to be John Cena's final opponent? No, I didn't. Why is that happening? I wouldn't know. I'm really glad that any of you have really given me an opportunity to be informed of that and carry that message forward. Thank you. And I'm sure that that's the last I'll hear of it tonight, now that I'm telling you that I've heard you. All right, let's do this MSNBC thing. This is it here. I'm throwing a little red meat to the conservatives on this one. Let's do the... by the way, 323 is our number at the moment. 325, according to Rumble Studio. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. We're at about 250 between Rumble and YouTube. So I'd like to see that number pop up a little bit. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Just $60 away from tonight's goal as well. So MSNBC, with a straight face, had somebody on and they said, hey, I can't believe that people think that we would call Donald Trump Adolf Hitler. We would never call Donald Trump Adolf Hitler, not in a million years. Name one time that we've ever called Donald Trump Adolf Hitler. Well, you know what? Somebody somewhere failed this challenge because MSNBC asked for one time that they've called him Adolf Hitler, and this person found about 2 minutes worth of sound clips of MSNBC referring to Donald Trump as Adolf Hitler.
I haven't suggested that Donald Trump is Hitler. I wouldn't say
I don't
that.
think any Democrat has.
Now, what do we know about news and politics and media? Never speak in absolutes. Never say, I don't think any Democrat has compared Trump to Hitler. I mean, unless you want to use the qualifier in the last 12 seconds.
Actually,
it is deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler, the man who is responsible for the deaths of 6 million Jews.
You know, one thing I miss about Kamala Harris is she was always the person around to explain who people were. You know, in case you didn't know who Adolf Hitler was. Oh, that Adolf Hitler. I thought you meant the singer.
How can you possibly compare what happened in Germany in World War II to what's going on?
Wait a minute. That's J.B. Pritzker. Isn't that the guy who just said that nobody's comparing Donald Trump to Hitler and nobody has? Huh. Well, this must be a clip of him clearly saying that Donald Trump is not indeed Adolf Hitler. Go ahead.
Here in the United States.
Well, we're talking about the death of a constitutional republic. That's what happened in Germany in 1933, 1934.
Oh, damn you, J.B. Pritzker. You were that close. Son of a bitch. You know, in fairness, J.B. Pritzker probably just forgot he said that because immediately after that interview, he ran out and bought up 3 houses on his block and ripped out all the toilets and electrical fixtures. If you don't know that about J.B. Pritzker, it's in order to bring down the property taxes on his home, he bought 2 other homes, stripped out all the toilets because then it's not considered a livable home. And the property taxes and the value of that home go way, way down, which brings down the comps in that neighborhood, thus bringing down the values and bringing down the property taxes. He is, if I may, a piece of shit.
And we're seeing today that you've got an administration in Washington that's ignoring court orders.
And this rogue Department of Justice going out to do the bidding of this Timu Hitler.
Timu Hitler? Oh, man. Those were my 2 least favorite Lion King characters, Timu and Hitler. I hated those guys. They were so mean. Obviously, Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick's absolute worst performances. And why does my girl Jasmine Crockett have to fall into this? I like her so much.
I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things. But this wannabe Hitler, for sure.
There's only one word I call Jasmine Crockett. And it's not nice.
Trump actually reenacting the Madison Square Garden rally in 1939 that neo-Nazis, fascists in America.
Donald Trump.
Now, wait a minute. Allow me to defend Hillary Clinton. She did not compare Donald Trump to Hitler in that clip. She compared him to like, Rockwell, Henry Ford, Lindbergh.
Trump's got this big rally going at Madison Square Garden. There's a direct parallel to a big rally that happened in the mid-1930s at Madison Square Garden. And don't think that
Did the Knicks win the championship that year? Was that Joe Louis? Did they have a rally for Joe Louis?
he doesn't know for 1 second exactly what they're doing there.
You stand by that comparison, though, to a Nazi rally?
Look, the rally, you saw it for yourself. I'll let the American public make the decision of what they saw.
What about you, though?
So I know what I saw, and I'll just leave it at that.
Well, then you're kind of a pussy. Just say what you want to say. Say you thought it was a Nazi rally. Come on. It is funny. Like, I don't think any Democrat has ever compared Trump to Hitler.
I compared the rhetoric that the president has employed to rhetoric that you might have heard during the Third Reich. Calling human beings an infestation is something that we might have expected to hear.
No. Wait a minute. We're going to start holding people accountable for comparing people to an infestation. Then Vincent D'Onofrio clearly needs to be held accountable for what he said in 1997's Men in Black when he said, I've been noticing an infestation here. Everywhere I look, in fact, nothing but a barely evolved, barely conscious pond scum, totally convinced of their own superiority as they scurry about their short, pointless lives. And they asked Vincent, don't you want to get rid of them? And he said, oh, in the worst way. And then he shoved an exterminator hose down an exterminator's throat and turned on the poison. So, glass houses, Beto.
Germany.
Is that not going too far to make a comparison between the president of the United States and the Nazis?
Find me a better analogy.
See, guys, Beto didn't want to compare him to Adolf Hitler. He just couldn't find a better analogy. Don't you hate that? You know when you find a wrench that doesn't quite fit what you're trying to remove, so you try to manipulate it and wiggle it, try to make it go, or like a Phillips head screwdriver, but it's not quite big enough, but you try to catch the edge of whatever you're trying to loosen and see if you can get it to turn a little bit. That's what Beto was doing rhetorically. He would have loved to find a better analogy that fit. He just couldn't.
About the blood of America as being poisoned. Echoing the same exact language used in Nazi Germany.
No, it's not, because when they were talking about their blood being poisoned, it was by the people that were giving Donald Trump hundreds of millions of dollars to do their bidding. It's totally not the same.
He is paving the way to become a Vladimir Putin or to become an Adolf Hitler.
Oh, you got to hate those direct one-on-one comparisons, don't you? Because you leave yourself no wiggle room in compilations like this. When you go, oh, he's Adolf Hitler, you don't leave yourself. Like Tim Walz was being a politician. He was like, I'll let you decide if he's Hitler. I saw what I saw, but you can decide. This guy just goes, Hitler, cutting through the red tape.
Kim Jong-un. That's what he wants to be.
Donald Trump is also very old and a racist and a neo-Nazi.
Comparing the tactics of Donald Trump to Mussolini and Hitler is a very legitimate thing.
Yeah, but how'd she mean it? Pool Scam Sam with wishful thinking 199 says, Hobo and I are 100% funnier and non-convicts. You're half right. Look, Hobo stumbles onto a couple decent ones, Pool Scam Sam. No offense. I mean this with all due respect. You couldn't hold a candle to me. I tell you what, you do a show. Let's see how you do. Don't weasel out of it. Come on. I called you out on it. I called you out on the carpet. Put your money where your mouth is, motherfucker. I'm just kidding. I know you won't, but still, I thought I'd have some fun with you either way. Look, Pool Scam Sam needs that one more than I do. I should be nicer. All right, let's talk about all those escaped monkeys with herpes. All but one of the monkeys have been destroyed. The Mississippi Wildlife and Fisheries is on site with local law enforcement today, continuing to look for the one monkey that is still on the loose. So a truck overturned that was transporting rhesus monkeys from Tulane University. About 40-pound monkeys, aggressive to humans. They're carrying all kinds of different diseases. Hepatitis C, herpes, COVID. So, two very dangerous diseases and one, unless they, get to an old person or somebody with diabetes, it's probably going to be harmless. Not the herpes one. That's going to be a bitch. But they got all of them. I love how they say they destroyed all but one, killed them. They found, what a shitty thing to do. So think about it. You're a rhesus monkey, and your whole existence is just to be injected full of all kinds of diseases. Herpes, COVID, hepatitis C, probably some AIDS monkeys. And then the one day you get free, the trunk turns over, your cage opens, you can run out, you can finally escape this hell you've been living. They catch you, and they go, fuck it, and they murder you. So your whole existence is essentially be born, be injected with AIDS, get caught, die. Fucking hell. But I love that there's one of them around, because that means if you're in Mississippi tonight and you see these bright eyes staring back at you out of the darkness, you're like, fuck, man, if I don't get in the house and lock the door, I'm going to get hep C, I'm going to get herpes, or I'm going to get COVID. Better yet, let's say you get attacked by the monkey. And now you got to wait until you're symptomatic and you go to the doctor for a blood test, and you got to sit there and just pray to God it's COVID, because the other two are really not pleasant. Probably a Somali driver, more than likely. Papa Shab says normalize destroying monkeys. It's not. See, I feel like you're taking this a different way. Reese's monkeys are still better than Reese's pumpkins, says Eagle of America. I wish I never would have said. You know what? I wish I never would have brought this to you. I hate what you're writing already. Aces says, I didn't know they transferred all the Stearns County B block inmates. Now, Steve, why? I don't get the relation between you saying that and these rhesus monkeys who all have communicable diseases. I don't understand it. Jesus H. Christ says, look, we have that E1101 or whatever it was from the movie Outbreak. It might be time to use it. We might need to get Cuba Gooding Jr. on this. No, not the one where he's got big teeth and he's mentally retarded and an equipment manager for a college football team. The other one where he's running around with Dustin Hoffman. That's the Cuba Gooding Jr. we need, just to be fair. K. Fallen the Great becoming a member for 41 months. Thank you very much. He says, I'm a racist monkey and I got injected with AIDS. What the fuck? Who wrote this script? I don't get it. $55 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much. There was another donation that I wanted to go over. I can't find it now. Here it is. Shuli Madoff with $5. Says, have you watched Gino get owned by a David Pakman clone? And right now, would you take Drake May or JJ for the next 10 years? Let me answer the second one. I have to be fair about it. JJ's been hurt, and JJ's played only 2 games. So right now, I would take Drake May. Now, I liked Drake May coming out of the draft. My 3 favorites were Jaden Daniels 1, JJ McCarthy 2, Drake May 3rd. I didn't like Caleb Williams. I didn't think much of Bo Nix or Michael Penix. So I did like Drake May. But, obviously he's showed us more so far than JJ McCarthy has. Now, as far as the Geno thing, I found this, you can tell, I don't think there's anything to be jealous of when it comes to Geno Bisconti, but I will say some of you who are going after him for the Jubilee thing, I'm just letting you know, you kind of come off as a little jealous. You kind of come off as some bitter bitches. Because doing that Jubilee thing, number one, it's a paying gig. Number 2, it is a big deal. A shitload of people watch it. And number 3, I don't think he gave as good as he got against Luke Beasley. Luke Beasley's a pretty sharp dude, by the way. Luke Beasley definitely got Geno on the January 6th stuff and shit like that. But Geno did get Luke Beasley on the COVID firings and stuff like that. I thought Geno hung in there pretty good. I thought he did a pretty good job. And if you don't think he did, I think you're probably just a little Gino bias. And that's okay. I actually respect people who can say that. I would respect someone who could go, hey, I just really hate Gino and Keanu. I don't like them at all, so I'm not going to give them any credit for this Jubilee thing. I respect that. Now, if you go, no, it's not about that. I'm just being fair and impartial. Well, now you're just making yourself stupid just so you can wage a vendetta. That's not a good look for you. Bad optics, as they say. No, doing the Jubilee thing, I mean, I'm jealous of that. I would have loved to do that. That's a big audience. And he'll probably be asked to do it again because I think he was very engaging. You know? So, good for him. Tampa guy says the big rumor in Tampa is Teddy Bridgewater to Minnesota trade. Is that true? Teddy Bridgewater. I wouldn't doubt. I mean, we need a backup quarterback. Unless we're just going to go with Max Brosmer, which I think would be cool as a Gopher fan. I would love that. Teddy Bridgewater rumor. I'm not seeing anything. Is this just something that's in that's going around like Bucks fan circles right now? Because I didn't see it. Keanu says, I didn't hear a word Gino said, maybe because I've blocked it out, but he looked handsome. Yeah, I mean, he did a good job. And again, I don't think you're being unbiased if you think that Gino thing wasn't a cool thing for him. I think I'm trying to help you when you do shit like that. It just kind of makes you look bitter a little. It's kind of like the steel toe hate mob, which makes no sense anymore. I mean, we've pretty much beaten every challenge they've thrown at us and every date they've set. Like, I was supposed to be gone a long time ago, and here we are still having a good time. I think you guys, I've said this before, I think what you have a habit of doing, and it's okay, I just wish you could be a little more honest with yourself about it. I think what happens is when you get outside of your bubble and you get proven wrong, you just convince yourself that everyone else is lying and you're the ultimate truth teller. And I think that's really indicative of like missed medication or mental illness. Which again, first step is admitting it and you'll be fine. But if not, no skin off our back. We get to laugh at your expense. Let's go ahead and get to this Rutger hazing story. A Rutgers fraternity has been shut down after a hazing investigation. Guys, let's test how long you've been a steel toe fan. What do we know about this? If a fraternity or a team season or anything like that has been shut down over hazing, what happened? We've seen this enough. We've covered these types of stories many times. What specific thing do we know happened if any of these men's organizations have to be shut down? Ryobi nails it. He says butt stuff. Von Kaiser says butthole. Das Optic Nerve says someone hazed Aaron's hair. How dare you? But yes, butt stuff, up the poop chute. Yeah, somebody got sodomized with something. That's what happens when it's when it's a high school or college team and that high school or college team has their season canceled and they won't say why and they say it was hazing related. Somebody got fucked in the butt with something. If it's a fraternity, it's usually somebody breaking a broomstick or taking a mop handle and jamming it up someone's ass. That's usually what it is. It's something going in somebody's butt. Let's go ahead and listen to this Rutgers story and let's see what happened to Alpha Sigma Phi as they've seen their last days at Rutgers University. Oh, my God.
Rutgers University. This shutdown happened more than a week after a student was left critically hurt.
Uh-oh. God damn it. I hate being right. Critically hurt. I mean, I don't think he got a kitchen knife wound to the chest. I think it was maybe aquatic life related, like perhaps a starfish related injury, maybe. Let's hear that one more time. Oh, and by the way, they'll never tell you it was a butthole injury, but you will get enough details from the assertions that they will make about the insertion that it was a butthole injury.
happened more than a week after a student was left critically hurt following an incident at the Alpha Sigma Phi house. Andrew Ramos is in New Brunswick and has reaction from...
They asked the kid, they said, how long was the object they shoved up your ass? And he said, 6, 7. Stupid joke. See, Pool Scam Sam, suck my dick. You're nowhere near ready for prime time, buddy. I'm the ace in this deck.
Students.
Lights now out for Alpha Sigma Phi as the national chapter announced Friday the fraternity will no longer have a presence at Rutgers University. It comes after what the fraternity confirmed was a disturbing hazing incident that took place at its house on College Avenue in New...
You just got to know what to listen for. Critical injury, troubling hazing incident. I mean, if some guy got his finger severed, they would say somebody lost a finger. If somebody broke their arm, jumping off the roof, they would have said broke his arm jumping off the roof. But nobody wants to go on the news and say this guy was sodomized with a rake after fall yard work. So they say shit like troubling injury. And then you get hospitalized. You got to get hospitalized with a bleeding asshole. Ugh. That was my one fear about jail. Luckily, it didn't come true that you know of.
Brunswick last week that left a 19-year-old student critically injured.
Greek life is pretty big here, so I'm pretty shocked.
While not giving specifics,
they shoved a fucking baklava up his taint, my friend.
Fraternity's president and CEO, Gordy Heminger, told CBS News New York.
Heminger, huh? They're going to have to hem his anus.
In a statement that hazing did in fact occur last Wednesday evening, adding any member involved directly or indirectly will be permanently expelled. We will continue to fully cooperate with the university and criminal investigations and hope the students involved face the maximum penalties allowed.
Not because of the severity of the crime, but because they're so fucking gay. See, Pool Scam Sam, you ain't fucking ready, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm proving points tonight. You see, the fraternity, if I made Gino this joke, you see, the fraternity didn't want to punish the guy because they sodomized somebody and that's against the law. They're punishing them for how gay they are. It's all, by the way, the less specific they are about the injury, it's butthole stuff. And also, let's stop calling this hazing, all right? Hazing is like duct taping a guy naked to the flagpole. That's just hot, right? That's hazing. Shoving something forcibly up someone's asshole is rape. That is not, we got to stop calling this hazing. Like, the news gets away with calling shit hazing so they don't have to say sodomized with a broomstick at his frat house. But if they say awkwardly hazed, they don't have to say, oh, he had a Captain Morgan bottle shoved up his ass, starting with the business end.
The injured student in this case, officials say, is no longer in critical condition, but still in the hospital.
You hear about it so much, but when it actually happens, like this close to home, it's like, wow, this is reality.
Yeah, when I hear that some asshole 1,500 miles away had his butt ripped open by a beer bottle, I don't really give a shit. That part of my human empathy hasn't developed yet. But when the geographical location is close to my vicinity, then for some reason, I pay attention more. Dude, a ripped apart butthole is a ripped apart butthole.
Students we spoke to say the fraternity didn't have the best reputation on campus.
There's a difference between not having the best reputation on campus and being known as the place that's going to cornhole you with cleaning supplies.
Nothing's going to change if these guys don't face some serious punishment.
Despite the fraternity...
Shut up, date rapist.
Fraternity house being declared unsafe for human occupancy by the city of New Brunswick due to a number of building code violations. Our camera spotted students on the premises Friday evening. Meantime, Rutgers University...
One of the housing code violations was an overabundance of fecal matter mixed with blood in the bed sheets in each room. Something's going on there.
It is fully cooperating with the investigation being led by the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office and is in...
Middlesex? That's how we got here in the first place. Hey-o. The Steel Toe Evening Show, making forced sodomy fun again.
Contact with the family of the student who has not yet been identified. Now, it remains unclear if last week's hazing incident was a one-off or if it was a regular thing that
I
happened.
don't think he got off, sir. That's mighty presumptuous.
Here at the fraternity house. The Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office would only say this is an ongoing and active investigation. Reporting in New Brunswick, Andrew Ramos.
Hopefully they didn't sodomize him with one of those monkeys that escaped in Mississippi. That would be really unfortunate because then this guy's problems are just starting. Ooh. Aaron seems to be No, Aaron is not getting aroused. That is not. There is a difference between making sodomy hazing jokes and getting excited. That is not. Mad Move says Aaron is pro level when it comes to butt stuff. See, again, none of this true. None of this true. Bapa Shab says, but doing it with consent is called love, right, Aaron? I mean, it is an act of love. MSO says stand up. No, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to stand up. Because if I don't stand up, you're going to call me gay. If I do stand up, you're going to go, ha, we got him to stand up to prove he doesn't have a boner. Gotcha. I lose either way. So you know what? I would rather you have to use your imagination. How about that? T. Jefferson says, Aaron is an expert on sodomy since his time in the clink. That we're not going to do a story about some guy getting butt fucked at a fraternity and somehow turn it around on me. It's not happening. Hobo says, hands up, Tubby. Right? Look, hey, totally innocent. Totally innocent. Thank you very much. Sam Show says, he's gaped.
Oh, buddy.
What? All right, 55 away from tonight. Throw it in. Let's call it another win for the toe. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. About 50 left. And then we're good. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. We appreciate you being here. Well, we got the bad news today. Target laid off 1,000 employees. Something's happening. I was getting some angry responses the last couple of days from my doom and gloom takes on the economy. And some people did not appreciate that I was looking into the numbers on car loans, looking into the Target layoffs, and saying, I think some bad shit might be on the horizon, especially Trump supporters. They kind of look at it like you're pissing in their cornflakes a little bit. But Target announced that they're laying off 1,000 employees. They're cutting another 800 open positions that they won't be filling, and it's part of a restructuring plan. Now, Target says there's nothing to be worried about. They're just restructuring, but I don't know of many successful businesses that cut and fire, 1,800 positions. I don't think that happens. The cut represents 8% of Target's global workforce, but the majority of employees affected work at the headquarters in Minneapolis. In-store workers will not be affected by the downsizing. So I think there are some real economic headwinds that are on the way that don't look good. And I think we have a really bad habit of ignoring this stuff. I think they try to ignore this stuff because they don't think it's going to happen. They can just whistle past the graveyard. Come on. The Dow's going up. The S&P's going up. The stock market looks great. Who wants to rain on this parade we've got going on? And then this stuff happens like a year later. And then people go, I mean, come on. Who could have predicted it? And then all the people who predicted it go, well, I did. Well, you're just a naysayer. Oh, yeah. And then Brian points out, I think we've got this for tomorrow's show. Amazon is cutting 30,000 employees. That's not good. Amazon is the consumption hub of the modern economy. So you got Target cutting 1,000. You got Amazon cutting 30,000. You got people not paying their car loans. You got credit card debt continuing to go up. You've got inflation still isn't under control. I mean, tomorrow, I believe the Fed is meeting. And the Federal Reserve is talking about cutting rates. I don't think it's responsible to cut rates right now. I don't think inflation is at a point where we can be cutting rates. They're talking about 0.25%. I don't think it's a good idea. I think we're heading for a rough time. McBuster says Trumpstein is fucking the USA, as I predicted in 2013 if he were ever to get elected. Bapa Shab says, I heard Steel Toe Morning Show was cutting one of its co-hosts loose. Times are tough. We are not cutting one of our co-hosts loose. And by the way, also, I think that's just you trying to tell me that you want me to fire John. I'm not going to fire John. What did John? You know what? Let's have this conversation. We're 55 away from tonight's goal. I'd love to hit that, but let's stop for a second. And before I open up our next stories that we've got coming up tonight, let's talk about this. And I want you to lay it out honestly. I don't want you to hit me with any kind of cheap shots about Johnny or any kind of your own, bullshit theories. Shoot me straight. What's the problem? What's the deal? Because if you ask me, the kid's fine. He's doing for the jail show, he did exactly what I asked him to do. I said, Johnny, I need you to be the eyes and ears of the audience and ask the questions that maybe you could anticipate them asking that I'm not answering at the moment. And he did that, and he kept the conversation going, and I thought he did a good job. I am very happy with the way Johnny did the show on Monday. And then today, I thought today's show was great. It was nice. It was casual. We had no goal. It was a lot of fun. We got a nice chunk of tomorrow morning taken care of. So what's the problem? Because I'm taking Bapa Shab's comment as he wants me to fire Johnny. And now, goddamn it, I want to know why. And I don't want the answer to be like, yeah, he fucking sucks. I'm going to need more than he fucking sucks. I'm going to need specifics because together, we do the best show out there. I mean, you can't count any shows that do shows that are based on other people's shows because those aren't shows. Those are just hangers on. They don't count. There's no talent in that. That's hack shit. I'm above that. We do the best show out there, and Johnny's part of that show. So I'm not going to take that. But before we get to all of that, Atomic Ray gifting 20 memberships on Rumble. Holy shit, Atomic Ray. Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
That's going to put Atomic Ray into third place with $125. He gifted 5 memberships earlier this week. Walter at 100 is now in fourth place, and in central booking with $100 is Mommy. That's going to throw Anna Fake off of central booking. So technically, they got released. They get to go home. So now that puts us 45 into tomorrow night. So now we're 145 away from Wednesday. Wow. Thank you very much, Atomic Ray. It's another win for the toe. And Pool Scam Sam couldn't have done that if I wasn't really fucking talented. Very bad news. All right, let's get your guys' thought. Let's get this Johnny shit out of the way here. All right? There's a reason no one watches his show but like 15 people. Now, wait a minute. At its peak, this evening show only does about 3 something. So let's not act like, the evening show is so superior. Mornings between 6 and 8. 11 on Monday, but let's be real. I mean, is there but for the grace of God go I. Sam Show says he has quite literally nothing to add. See, this is what I mean. I need more specifics than that. T. Duden says Johnny is a rock. I mean, he sits there like a rock. Mad Move says his only good role is being a bigger punching bag than you, but he isn't a good sport about it. I'm not really a punching bag. I give as good as I get. I shit on my attitude towards it is this. I can't shit on everybody. I shit on all my haters. I shit on everybody. I make them look stupid. I got to let them give it back to me a little bit. That's just good natured. I mean, sure, they have no sense of humor. So when I throw it back at them, it hurts them more. And we just laugh along. We're friends. But I don't think Johnny's a necessarily a punching bag. You can't have this. You can't have a bigger platform than the people saying stuff and be a punching bag. That's why I don't think you should really hit back that hard if you have this, because you already have the advantage. You know, it's kind of you're working with it. You know, you're holding a midget by the head and kicking him in the nuts. It's not really fair. You know, you got to let a hobo chili recipe talk some shit because he has no power. So you got to let him. That's been my attitude, and that's why I've had a successful show for longer than any of these other people have, because it's just that. It's a show. You don't get wrapped up. Toad Climbs Mountains says Johnny had good shows last 2 days. I like Johnny on Steel Toe. Well, there you go. Sam Show says watch one of your episodes with Corey, then watch one from this morning right after each other. Hey, now come on. Corey was great. It's not about comparing Corey and Johnny. I mean, Corey was a great co-host, but you know, you guys used to complain when Corey was on there too much. I think you guys just get sick of people when they're on too much in a row. I think you guys burn out of people. Toad Climbs Mountains says, pretty sure you missed my gifted membership, but whatever. Oh my God, I hope not. Let's go back. Let's find the fucker. Let's find Toad Climbs Mountains. There it is. Toad Climbs Mountains gifted a membership tonight. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. 140 away from tomorrow night. Thank you. All right. Let's continue with people's critiques of Johnny. Can the ivermectin make Johnny less retarded? See, that's a cheap shot. I don't see that as legitimate criticism. T. Duden says Johnny is a disinterested, honest, or often asleep hole on the show. Sometimes I find him sleepy, but I think that's one of two things. Either he's not feeling well, or he was up all night talking to that digger. I think that digger girl. I think my boy Johnny has been up all night talking to that digger gal, and that might be why he's a little sleepy. Taste Fairy Ialto says, I always look forward to Monday and Tuesday shows. Great. T. Duden says, saw April in the reruns. She was engaged, added something, and the show was better with her. Johnny is not engaged, adds nothing, and grifted money. Now, that is the first compliment I've heard of April from those reruns we ran. I got a lot of shit from people for running those. Oh, my God, she was so fucking terrible. Why did you make us watch her? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, she got a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Von Kaiser says, quit digging in your butt, twin. I got to say that to the kids today. They were so embarrassed that I knew that one. They were embarrassed that I knew that one, that I knew Huzz, that I knew 41. And, there was one other thing that I said to them today. Anytime you can get your kids to cringe by using their slang, it's such a good feeling as a parent. Really is. Mick Buster says, Corey fucking sucked. Matt is Fetterman. Johnny saves his best for bong hits and video games until 6 a.m. every night. Every night. 6 a.m. is morning, but all right. Hobo says, April was funnier than you. That's how I know I don't need to take Hobo seriously. Like, ever. Oz in the chat says, I like Johnny. See, debate's over. Oz likes Johnny. Gray Duckling says, Johnny's tits are smaller than yours. Fair enough. Sandy Squatch says, I enjoy Johnny here, and I love him on Just Kidding LLC in the afternoon. I listen every day. There you go. There you go. Oh, guys, you shouldn't hit the goal so early. You're triggering You Ain't Getting My Money. He's upset again. I'm so fucking good at this. I keep that guy coming back every goddamn day. I really should send that boy a flower basket or something like that. T. Jefferson says the chemistry with you two is why I started watching. The reruns were great. Well, why didn't you say so? She's been blowing up my phone asking for a job. I'll bring her back. Just kidding. It's not. No. I'm kidding on both counts. Number one, she is not calling asking for a job. She just sent me an invitation to the wedding. That was it. That was just... There was the invitation to the wedding. I didn't give away the location. I did send a little gift, but I did not attend. I didn't think it was appropriate, you know. I didn't want to be another ex that got a middle finger at a red light, so I said I'm gonna stay away from this. I sent her a little gift and a card, and I said, "Be careful. Those second marriages are a real cunt." And then I sent it off. So no bad blood. It's all good. We're fine. Anna Wall says, "Don't you even joke about that." That's not what I'm. Sam Show says, "Matt had a head full of bolts. He was fun. Me don't know that. Fuck you." That's a pretty good Matt impression. Me don't know that. Fuck you. Solid. Tin Man Taylor says, "I miss Corey on the show. Solo Corey isn't the same." I would die for Corey to come back and do shows with me. I would love it. I think you see how easily these goals are getting knocked out these last few months, probably since, last spring or so. You see how easily, we're looking all right, and that Rumble Creator Program has been very good for us. Honestly, I could offer Corey a little compensation package that might make it worth his while to do a day or two a week, but I don't know if he wants to get up and do streaming anymore. I don't think he wants to. So, but let me just say this. I love him. I think he's great. I'd love to have him back. Taste Fairy Ielto says the dabble fags are going to take that seriously. You know that, right? What do you think half the shit I do on this show is? I fuck with those people all the time. They do whole shows where they dance to my tune. And when I hear about it, I just get to laugh my fucking balls off. These people, I say it all the time, they're the best you could possibly have because they're not aware that they're the punchline. They're cockroaches. They're convinced that they're the superior being while you squash them under your boot. They're resilient and they're retarded, and it makes them perfect. Let's go to this. Fuck that. I don't want to do a Rand Paul clip right now. We got less than an hour left in tonight's show. I'm having a little fun hanging out with you guys chat wise. We're 140 away from tomorrow night, so hey, if you want to keep. Sounds good. Hey, let's take a look at the text, shall we? Why not? Hey, Aaron, did you hear that John Cena is blowing some dude in Jericho? That's not what they were saying, but all right, let's go to another text coming in. Hey, Aaron. Did you see that Chris Jericho has re-signed to WWE and is having a retirement tour and a Hall of Fame induction and is expected to be John Cena's final opponent? No, I didn't see that. Oh, here, guys, we got, hold on, we got one more message. I should probably open it, huh? What do you think it said? Oh, look at that. Hey, Aaron, did you see that Chris Jericho has resigned to WWE and is having a retirement tour and a Hall of Fame induction and is expected to be John Cena's final opponent? Holy shit, I had no idea. I'm just writing back to a couple of these Chris Jericho ones. I'm so glad you guys. Saint Caesar, thank you so much for sending that to me so much. Other people didn't take up the mantle at all. Oh, $5. Like, yeah, honestly, when I look at the Chat Ninja and I see super chats in it, I'm like triggered now tonight because I'm just worried it's going to be the goddamn Chris Jericho thing. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says we should get Raleigh's back as a sponsor. What do we have to do to make this happen? I mean, I could call Raleigh and talk to him if you'd like me to do that. Just talk to the guy. Got his phone number. Love Raleigh. He's talking about going on vacation in Arizona at some point. Maybe I could go down to where Raleigh lives and just go say hello. See if he wants to jump back aboard. It's not a terrible idea. I did talk to my radio guy today, and in about 2 weeks, I can give you a very, very funny radio update for this show. It got me today. Let's just say that. They're very happy that all of this is over. I believe their, let me see here. I believe their message to me was, skip that part, skip that one. Oh, glad all that bullshit is over. So that was nice. I can't read the rest of it. In about 2 weeks, I believe I'll be able to read the rest of that message for you. As of right now, it's going to be hard to keep it to myself because it is a funny one. I don't know how I don't think it's that consequential. I'm not like keeping any breaking news from you, but it's kind of a funny story. At least for me. It's a funny story. Tin Man Taylor says, I thought his daughters run the place now. Well, that's just it. Raleigh's turned it over to family, but I think Raleigh's still like president emeritus. Like he can still make some suggestions. I do know that once Raleigh turned it over to the next generation, like Raleigh's a big fan of the show. But when Raleigh turned it over to the next generation, they really didn't give a shit about Steel Toe. So they stopped. Which I understood. I kind of knew that when Raleigh was out of the picture, that was probably the end of our my working relationship was with Raleigh, not with anybody else. I still like everybody when I go in there and everything. They're very cool. But yeah, Raleigh's hated Minnesota for a long time, and he's wanted to move to Arizona. Every year, Raleigh started spending more and more time in Arizona every year, and you could tell that he was on his way out. He's a very conservative guy, and Minnesota, especially after George Floyd, was just too fucking much for him. Toad Climbs Mountains with $1 says, hey, Aaron, did you know that Stark Industries sells a missile system called Jericho? Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Theron says their food blows now. Explains a lot. I don't know. I took Gino and Keanu there, and we had wings, and I don't know. Their wings are pretty good. Can't complain about Raleigh's. Hey guys, we got a text coming in. This is going to be a good one. Hey Aaron, did you see that Chris Jericho is going to be Johnny's final opponent? Great. Looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. All right, let's do a couple of quick hitters here while we've got a little bit of time left. And also, if there's anything we haven't gotten to tonight that you guys would like to get to, feel free. We've knocked out tonight's goal. Rumble Studio has us at 313 right now, so make sure you're hitting like, hitting subscribe, and hitting follow. We appreciate that. Let's do the Hormel thing. So apparently if you have Hormel frozen chicken, which why? You're going to break all your teeth chewing on metal. They're recalling roughly 4.9 million pounds of food service ready-to-eat frozen chicken distributed nationwide after customers found metal fragments traced to a production conveyor belt. Okay, this makes me really worried. Like this, and anytime RFK Jr. talks about our food supply, I get really concerned because it's like we have metal shavings in the chicken and it's from a conveyor belt. So essentially this conveyor belt was like rusting and metal chunks were just breaking off of it and just going into the chicken. And nobody knew until about 5 million pounds of chicken got contaminated with metal shit from the conveyor belt, which makes me ask the obvious question, which is, okay, do we catch this every time it happens? Or is this just the time we caught it, and how many more millions of pounds of frozen chicken have fucking conveyor belt rusty metal on it? Also, frozen chicken, I can't. Because I don't think I've ever seen a bag of frozen chicken that doesn't have like frosted over, freezer burnt chunks in it. I mean, just chicken is one of those things that like you buy it fresh when you're going to make it and you do it that way. I don't You get that, like, when you get it frozen in the bag, you get that kind of that rubbery vibe from frozen. Maybe maybe I'm being an elitist. I don't know. But to me, the frozen chicken is a little rubbery, kind of dry. You know, I know some people say, oh, it tastes the same if you make it right. I don't know. Chicken to me just seems like one of those things when you want to have chicken that night, go out and buy some chicken, make it fresh. It's not the most expensive meat in the world to begin with. This is the Mad Move says this is a fault of the X-ray machines, 100%. Well, wait a minute. How would X-ray machines not catch that? I mean, if there's metal shavings in the chicken, the X-ray machines are catching it 100%, right? Mad Move says all of these facilities have metal getting in the food and all use magnets and X-rays to find it before it's packaged. Oh, well, so then they miss it all the time. So we're probably eating micro shards of metal every time we eat this shit. Taste Fairy Iolto says usually they have metal detectors on food conveyor belts like that. Real Jacks 2 says, come on, Aaron. Everyone knows you buy chicken nuggies. All right, look, I'm going to level with you. Since we're talking about frozen foods, I usually like to cook stuff fresh, but you always have an assortment of frozen things in your freezer when you're feeling lazy and you want to make something in a pinch. I have one of those Ninja Foodies, and it kind of makes the frozen food a little more acceptable. Like, it's not waiting forever for the oven, and it's not making it look like a wet diaper in the microwave. It's something in between. So I right now in the freezer have a bag of sweet potato fries. I have a 100 count of combination Totino's pizza rolls. I have a pint of, not a pint, what's the slightly bigger one? A quart. I have a quart of sea salt caramel ice cream. That's not quite half gone yet. I share that one with SP, by the way, so that's not all me. Although I did have a bowl today. What else is in the freezer? Oh, those beef and bean burritos. Look, what I like to do with the beef and bean burritos is I like to put those in the Ninja Foodie for about 15 minutes at 380, and I like to take white queso and take a spoonful or two of white queso and smother the frozen burrito in it. I'm never getting down to 215 again. Although tomorrow I am picking up a brand new heavy bag in St. Michael. Very exciting. So we have the burritos, we have the pizza rolls, we have the sweet potato fries. There. Oh, I have some Italian meatballs in there for the nights I don't feel like hand making meatballs. What other frozen cancer do I have sitting in my freezer? Oh, chicken fried steaks. And then I have the packet country gravy mix in the cupboard. So then I got some mashed potatoes. Make some mashed potatoes, some chicken fried steak, put a little country gravy over that sumbitch. And I think that's about the contents of my frozen foods. Like I said, I just keep an emergency, like don't feel like making anything, frozen food collection out in the chest freezer in the garage. Now I'm going to go into the chat and I'm going to see how many people are going to say incredibly hurtful things. 90% of the chicken you get that isn't frozen has been frozen. Oh, shit. Elitist in Minnesota has never been uttered in the same sentence. Perhaps you're right. Bapa Shab says, lots of protein, nuggy boy. Nuggy boy. My name is not, I'm not a nuggy boy. I don't have nuggies. Thank you very much. Das Optic Nerve says frozen gravy. No. It's not frozen gravy. It's a pack. So you boil water and then you put the gravy mix in cold water. And then when the water starts boiling, you pour that in together and you whisk it with a fork until it gravies up. That just sounds fat. T. Duden says, this is why you are 265 pounds. I'm not 200. I'm not Tukey, for God's sake. I'm 225, usually under most days of the week. I was 222 coming out of jail. And I started eating my food. Von Kaiser says, just a degenerate. T. Duden says, a fat man making burritos. Let me tell you something. There's nothing more disgusting than watching a man on the day he doesn't have his kids making Del Rio or whatever they're called burritos and putting Tostitos white queso over top of it and enjoying it, doing it shamelessly. Shamelessly. McBuster says, my freezer is full of frozen human heads, ice packs, a fish stick, and some Argentinian toxic beef. Mad Move says, take the burritos and put them in a dish with enchilada sauce with cheese on top and make them bitches for an hour. Make some rice, cheap dinner for the kids. No, I did think about refried beans and rice with cheese on it and the burritos. MSO says, don't forget you've got Gordy in there. That's a disgusting rumor that we don't need circulating. Gordy is not in my outside freezer. Papa Shab says, Aaron has a thermos full of warm gravy. Aaron does not have a thermos full of warm gravy. T. Duden says, listening to an obese man discuss food is disgusting. Thanks. Ryobi says, 2 freezers? Jesus fucking fat ass. Well, no, I have 2 chest freezers out in my garage because in January or February, I'll be getting a quarter of a cow and I'll be getting different steaks and, packages of hamburger. I help butcher a cow. And so I have the 2 chest freezers to facilitate the quarter beef. That doesn't help either, does it? I didn't think so. 09 Canyon says, hearing about Aaron's freezer makes me feel better about mine. Das Optic Nerve says, can anyone hear Aaron's chair screaming for mercy? Papa Shab, Piggy loves his slop. Oink, oink, mama. I love Mexicans in the freezer, or food, says McBuster. Mexican food. 09 Canyon says, only garbage food is a thing of Salisbury steak for emergency dinner. Yeah, I can't. No, it's never that bad. Never that bad. Mad Move says, we have 2 freezers also. We've got 4 kids. Papa Shab says, then why did you look off camera like you had a thermos full of gravy? I just couldn't make eye contact with you guys. That wasn't me looking off at anything specifically. I got a window. I'm looking out the window at the darkness. That's a metaphor. I don't have a thermos full of gravy. Look, I'll do it like the menus thing. All of these had water in them at some point, and I got to take them upstairs. None of these are thermoses full of gravy. I promise. I promise. Taste Fairy Ialto now calling me quarter beef finder. Thank you. Thank you. Ryobi says, so it's 3 freezers. Holy shit. Well, the freezer underneath my refrigerator is, I don't use that for much. I like the chest freezer better. I'm a picky bitch. Red Fox Mad says, Aaron, what meat market do you go to? Well, I go to my uncle's house and they have the cow brought to, they go get it, they bring it and they hang it in my uncle's garage, but I believe it's McDonald's Meats. McDonald's Meats is where we get it from. I like those guys. Joey Caravello says, I was having sex with this beaner woman, and then her mother wanted me afterwards. So what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Angelica's doll. I always trigger Angelica's doll. She's always mad at me for something, and then sometimes she has a good sense of humor about me, and we can go back and forth. So in other words, she's a fucking crazy woman. She's a credit to her gender. She says, there's no way a woman sits and watches you eat that way. You're forever single. Well, no, I don't force a woman to watch me eat like I'm King Henry VIII, you fucking lunatic. What do you think? I'm just saying, now you sit there, woman. You watch me eat. I don't know. I cook. I cook for people. Don't like cooking for myself, though. Thus the freezer. Joey Caravello says, I'd have a 3-way with Keanu and Michaeline. I'm sure that in no way would horrify the shit out of them. I'm sure that Keanu and Michaeline would not be terrified at the idea of having sex with you. Joey Caravello. All right, what's next? Let's see. Hobo Chili says, do you have 100 pizza rolls being heated up? What are you, just warming up? I get it. I get it. Pool Scam Sam says, Aaron put paprika in French onion soup. He clearly has Down syndrome. Did I put paprika in French onion soup? I don't remember. I just know a lot of you guys were like, we're going to send him a bunch of onions and we're going to show him. And I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm going to make some killer French onion soup, and I did. And again, it was another one of those things where people were like pissed at me that I had a good sense of humor about something. You'd think you guys would stop after I've fucking turned it on you enough, but you just keep getting mad, so it's nice and easy. Matthew Poster says, hey, Nuggy Boy. Guys, can we please not let Nuggy Boy stick? That would be good. Did you see that Chris Jericho is re-signed to WWE and is having a retirement tour and a Hall of Fame induction and is expected to be John Cena's final opponent? Thank you. Hobo says, do you have food in your freezer, or is this just the last meal of a death row inmate? T. Jefferson says, the chat loves you, Tater Pockets. Thank you, T. Jefferson. I appreciate it. Link to the Jake, glad to have you back. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate it. Pool Scam Sam, who has surrendered and said that I am a funnier guy, which I appreciate, says 100 pizza rolls. You could give every viewer one for 2 days. Poignant Pachyderm says onion files are whiners. They are, and they take things too seriously, so it's easy to get one over on them. And they're also very resilient, and they're just like dogged, and they keep coming forward. So you just keep olaying them off the cliff, and they get right back in line to do it again. So it is kind of enjoyable. You know, like the Unite Cloud people were frustrating to deal with. I will admit that. The Unite Cloud people, it was like, God, I fucking hate you guys. But these people, it's like, are they like doing this secretly to make me look good? Because they are insane and have zero attachment to reality. And it's fantastic. I do like them. And I can say that openly because it'll go right over their head. Pugsley says, what are you paying for a quarter beef? Oh, God. It used to be about $2.50 for a quarter. I'm not sure what it's going to be this year. I think it could be $400 for a quarter. Does that sound right? That doesn't sound right. Maybe it was $400, not $250. How much is a quarter cow? A quarter cow costs approximately $900 to $600. Okay, $900 to $1,600. That was not it. It was probably $400, I would gather then. We butcher it ourselves. So I'm going to say, yeah, it was probably about $400 for my quarter, I would say. Angelica's doll says, and we all know there's no woman anyway. You can be honest with us whenever you want, kid. We'll wait. I know that you don't want there to be an SP. I know that that is a big deal to you. I'm not saying it to upset you. I'm not saying it to own you. I'm saying it because I love my girlfriend. She's a wonderful woman, and she deserves so much better than the likes of me. So I'm sorry. Maybe someday I'll make your dream come true. But for right now, Angelica's doll, my bet is taken. Crowder wears panties with $2, says Nuggy Boy's haters are his real fans. I appreciate the support, but could we do it with a name other than Nuggy Boy? That would be nice. Just can we keep the compliment and remove the Nuggy Boy part? Pool Scam Sam says, how much per pound? It's not difficult if you ordered it, retard. Retard, I don't order it. My uncle orders it. He doles it out to us, and then he charges us. Maybe I'm getting a good deal. I don't know. But no, I don't order it. What you do is he orders it, he hangs it, cut it up, and then we all help butcher it. And then we make a whole day of it. You know, we have dinner. And then we, load up the cooler. We have all the wrapping paper and shit, and we wrap up the steaks and the, 1 pound packages of hamburger and shit like that, and the soup bones and stew meat and all that shit. And then you get your price, and then you head home. Matthew says, you ain't butchering no cow, Nuggy Boy. I do. I cut the fat off what's going to be the ground beef, and then I trim the the shit, the little what does our butcher friend call it who does meat with us? The quicksilver. I separate the quicksilver. I get that off of the meat, and then I trim down the fat content. I'm more of a 90-10 guy, but our restaurateur guy that helps us out, he's more of an 80-20 guy. He says industry standard is 80-20. I like 90-10. We go with, what's his fucking name? JP. JP always tells us it's 80-20. Benchtop Model says, I like Nuggy Boy. Very charming. No, we don't like Nuggy Boy. We don't like Nuggy Boy. We're not going to keep Nuggy Boy. We're going to let Nuggy Boy go by the wayside. SH says he lets the adults order it. He just pays what they say he owes. Exactly. Von Kaiser says, silver skin, dummy. Another person says, silver skin, you numbnuts. One of the guys called it, JP called it Quicksilver. What do you want from me? I'm going to see if I bet you that's a term. I'm going to look it up right now, and you guys are going to look retarded. Here. Quicksilver on beef can refer to the connective tissue known as silver skin, found on cuts like Silverside, or a brand name for high-quality marbled beef like sterling silver. Quicksilver is sometimes also used in other contexts, such as in a reference to a bull's lineage. So Quicksilver is silver skin, you fucking douche. Thank you.
Just how retarded are you?
Exactly.
So you're just crazy in a retard kind of way then, huh?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
There you go. Snigger Niggerly says 80-20. Are we talking about Michaeline's age difference preference for sex partners? Sam Show says, all right, fine, no Nuggy Boy. Would you like to go back to Starch Lord? I was never at Starch Lord. You chose Starch Lord. I'm not Starch Lord or Nuggy Boy. I am neither of those things. $140 away from tomorrow night. Thank you guys very, very much for your contributions. Actually, it's $135 thanks to K-Fall and the Great. Thank you very much. Fun show tonight. I appreciate it. Peaked out over 300, which is always nice. Boy, both Rumble and YouTube came slamming back down to earth right around 7:30, though, which means somebody's doing something way more interesting than what we're doing right now. Somebody's covering Miskiff. Snigger Niggardly says, Quick Silverstein, like Building 7 collapsing. Das Optic Nerve says, Quicksilver, also Aaron's twink name. Thank you. We're not coming up with new nicknames, please. Amy says, Nuggy Boy for life. No. Benchtop Model says, Nuggy Boy today. Nuggy Boy tomorrow. Nuggy Boy forever. Timothy says, Nuggy Boy. I'm not, okay, first of all, there are no Nuggies in my freezer, so Nuggy Boy is factually inaccurate. Thank you very much. K-Fall in the Great with $5 says, Aaron got fired from the family butcher shop for sticking his fingers in the meat grinder. She got fired too. Hey-o. Blazing Blue Tongue says, do you deep fry your nuggets in potatoes? No. No, I don't. Because I don't do either of those things. Mad Move says 600 pounds of meat is hard to get frozen quickly at home. It's usually not 600 pounds of meat, but you use 2 chest freezers, as Ryobi has said is disgusting, and you can get it frozen pretty goddamn quick. Richard Head says, grew up in a meat locker, never heard it called Quicksilver in 48 years, not once. Well, guess what? I work with an old school motherfucker. Thank you very much. No, Mad Move, my name is not going to be Nuggy Imholt. Toss Optic Nerve says that's because you ate them all. That's not true. Mad Move says half a cow is 600 pounds. Right, and I have half of a cow, which would be 300 pounds. Don't make 300-pound jokes, please. Honky says Aaron's favorite basketball player, Spud Webb, former Minnesota Timberwolf. Spud Webb. T. Jefferson says plenty of pizza rolls, though, so Roly Boy it is. You guys stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. Hey, on the same day that Target decided it needed to shit can 1,000 workers and eliminate 800 other positions, Walmart, and by the way, this is going to become a new thing. This is going to be the next step. If stores haven't already started doing this before Walmart did, they're going to start doing it now. Black Friday's dead. Two things killed it: online shopping and impatience. Killed Black Friday. So like the days of like jingle all the way and trying to get that first toy and running through the store doors, that's done. So Walmart is unveiling its Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals with 3 different shopping events starting November 14th, November 25th, and then Cyber Monday is going to be December 1st. So there is no actual Black Friday like the day after Thanksgiving. They're moving that up, just like they've moved Christmas up before Halloween. Dude, fucking Target already has the big Christmas display up. Walmart already has the big Christmas display up. Fuck Halloween. Fuck Thanksgiving. It's all Christmas already. Black Friday is going to happen before Thanksgiving even happens. And guess what? It's going to be a massive success, and people are going to show up for it, and more stores are going to have to do it. Walmart's going to be doing Black Friday Deal Event 1, November 14th through the 16th, both online and in stores. Walmart Plus members get 5 hours early access beginning at 6 p.m. November 13th. Then they've got Black Friday Deal Event number 2, November 24th to the 30th. Online only 25th through the 27th. In-store 28th through the 30th. And again, the Walmart Plus members get a 5-hour early access. So it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep encroaching. By the time we're all 70 years old, they're going to be having Black Friday the day after the 4th of July. They're going to have deals like a 98-inch TCL 4K Google TV for $998. We were walking through Walmart the other day, and I pointed at a 75 or I think it was an 85-inch TV for under $500. And I looked at SP. I go, oh, an 85-inch TV for I think it was $498 for an 85-inch TV. I'm like, oh man, I should get this 85-inch TV for $498. Her response, without missing a beat, she goes, "You just got out of jail." I went, shit, you're right. It's really hard when you literally got out of jail that day. I think it was Friday. I think we went out to dinner. And then after we went out to dinner, we went shopping. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I did tell an actual lie, not a steel toe haters coping. So they say I lied. I did tell an actual lie. I said that I have not had a drink since I got out of jail. I forgot that when SP and I went out to dinner, I did have a maple margarita. So I have had one cocktail since I've been out of jail, and it was a delicious maple margarita from the fine folks at La Casita. It was delicious. But we went to Walmart. I said, oh, I should treat myself to this 85-inch TV. And she just said, you just got out of jail. And when you have gotten out of jail that day, it is a hard argument to counter. When someone tells you you shouldn't have something because you just got out of jail. Again, hard to tell them they're wrong because they're literally correct. Snigger Niggardly says Aaron could rock a new Manosphere persona. Oh, I could get in the Manosphere. How? Oh, by calling myself Andrew Tater. Andrew Tater. You see. Crowder Wears Panties says they don't have any actual deals anymore. It's retarded. Oh, shit. 09 Canyon says, yeah, looking at the ads, there aren't any of the bikes for $40 and DVD players for $10. Just go on Facebook Marketplace. You can find a shitload of DVD players for free. It's easy. Papa Shab says, you're black, bro. I'm not black. I saw an 85-inch TV for under $500 and I wanted it. It doesn't make me black. Snigger Niggardly says, what an upgrade. In jail, you get 8.5 inches. Now you want 85 inches. Well, she's nice and loosened up now. Everybody. Oh, now I'm getting to the part in the chat where they're calling my maple margarita gay. You know what the worst part was? I couldn't really taste the maple. It's too bad. My lady got her mango mojito that she loves so much. I would have gotten an old-fashioned, man. Or maybe a Miami Vice. Hey, man. Miami Vice, #1 new hit show. I love that Miami Vice. It's a little pink. It's a little red. Sweet. Delicious. That's how I ordered my drinks poolside in Florida, as I told the server. I said, get me something that is icy, sweet, and something I have no business drinking as a man. And then she brought me the most delicious. It's called a Clearwater Sunset. It's delicious. Wanted 2 of them. But I did. I had look, 09 Canyon, I thought the same thing you did. Maple and tequila, is it really going to go together? I wouldn't do it again, but I had to try. SH says, I'd like an 85-inch for the bedroom. I don't like wearing glasses to bed. That is a great point. Because I have, 55 or 65 in the bedroom. And when SP and I were going to bed last night, we wanted to watch something. We were going to watch some Always Sunny. And I was like, oh, hold on. I got to put my glasses back on. And I didn't want to put my glasses back on. You're right. If I get an 80... Baby, if you're listening right now, if I get an 85-inch TV for the bedroom, I won't have to put my glasses back on. Huh? GOAT becoming a member for 1 month. Thank you guys, by the way. We're trying to rebuild those membership numbers. So if everybody wants to gift a membership on whatever platform you're on, we'll get those all the way back up there. GOAT becoming a member for 1 month says, look, it's Nuggy Boy Aaron. It's not Nuggy Boy. Oz says she likes the mango. What's she doing with you? Well, some people call me a tropical fruit. See ya. Bapa Shab says, get me something gay. Well, I mean, that's what I meant, but you can't just be at a resort and tell someone, oh, by the way, get me something gay. You don't say gay anymore, I don't think. Honky says, the circle of life. April gets a new ring while Aaron gets his ring destroyed in jail. It's, people go on different journeys in this life. I don't have to be in a news story for, doing a bunch of coke. So, we all go down our different paths. Snigger Niggardly says Aaron only drinks from sippy cups because Gordy would drown. Das Optic Nerve says, yeah, because you look way better without your glasses. This was not a judgment about how I look. Thank you very much. All right, where do we go next? Let's go to the Chinese fish tank being destroyed. If you're trying to break your the cultural stereotype that you make cheap shit that breaks really easily, this next story is not going to help. A restaurant in China, in the province of Fuzhou, had they have one of those seafood restaurants where you have the big aquarium, right? And you have all the fish. And oh my God, look, you can look at the thing while it's still alive that we're going to end up chopping the head off, filleting and serving you. Isn't this a very cultured thing to do? So this giant fish tank in this Chinese restaurant busted open, and all of these people back in the kitchen had to watch all the fish flop around the floor and essentially die. Right now, I have a question. Can you, if you're in the food service industry, and I guess we would never know, so technically you could, but let's say an aquarium like that busts open and all the fish go, awash out on the floor of the kitchen and the dish room and everywhere else. And you got to think of that floor at a restaurant. It's fucking disgusting. Are you allowed to just pick those fish up and start making them? Like, can you just start preparing them? I know they're usually made to order, but can you start chopping them up and freezing them or making a seafood gumbo or something like that? Or is there some kind of rule that because of food service standards, you got to throw all that shit away. The fuck am I talking about? It's China. Yeah, they're just going to start eating it raw off the floor at that point. Astonishing footage shows unsuspecting staff going about their day before the plastic cage. How does a plastic cage break? Flooding the restaurant and unleashing a chaotic swarm of fish. As the floodgates open, live fish are sent darting along the current and into the dining area. Oh, shit, it did. Okay. Here. There it is. That is the dining area. I thought that was the kitchen. Okay, so there. Busts open right there. And now all the fish scurrying down out the kitchen into the dining room. Oh, that's kind of fun. You can kind of serve yourself. Like as it goes floating by, go ahead and pick your fish out. Kind of like they have those sushi restaurants now where it's like on a conveyor belt and you pick the one you want and you pay for it then. And that, come on, that's a fun new little feature. Just reach right down in the little river. There's no glass. It's a plastic tank. So you can go ahead and just grab your fish and have them cook it for you. So it's a new thing. And like I said, in China, they don't have an RFK Jr. there, so they can just fucking, wipe it off, throw it on the fryer. Why not? Papa Shab says they had a nice little trip down the hall. Yeah, a fun little ride before they chop your head off and fillet you. Why not? Why not? Sam Show says, oh, hello, ching chong ping pong. See, now, how is that mature? We were going to have an honest conversation about, can you just serve the fish anyway? It should be fine. There's nothing wrong. Like, I know that like food safety and food service standards are like technically if something touches something else, you can't serve it. Or like April always had that where she was like, you had this too close to this, so we can't eat it because it's contaminated. I'm like, shut the fuck up. This isn't, fucking bar rescue or kitchen nightmares. We're not Gordon Ramsay. Fucking run it under the faucet for a little bit. It's going to be fine. We'll eat it, and I bet you we don't get the shits. Or like, oh, we cooked that 3 days ago. You can't eat it. And I'm like, fucking watch me. And guess what? If my asshole tears apart because I ate it, then we'll know we should throw it away. But it's probably going to be fine. When I was a single man, leftover spaghetti, in my mind, you've got a week. In her mind, 3-4 days, we got to throw it out. No. Like I said, if my gut starts turning and I start shitting my insides out, then we'll know we took too long. MSO says, nobody's saying you can't have an exploding fish tank. 09 Canyon says, they're live fish in China. They came out of the river polluted. They're fine. That's true. Sam Show says it's China. They pull up oil out of the sewer and cook rotten fish with shit oil. Right? I mean, China has a thing called gutter oil. Yeah, who am I kidding? Yeah, you can eat that fish as is. It'll be fine. Now, the restaurant owner said all customers were allowed to leave without paying after the incident. Oh, well, hot shit. Can I take some of the fish home with me? I mean, if you have to throw it away anyway, why not? BJ says if it were smeared on her credit card, she'd eat it. Oh, come on. Come on. Oz says pizza is good for a day. Fuck that. I ordered the kids pizza tonight after school to get back, and it's kind of quick and fast turnaround and all that shit. So we ordered pizza with some, the garlic knots, and the leftovers are in the fridge. I mean, I got through the weekend to polish off that pizza. SP and I'll take care of it. I got to save her some. I can't just eat the whole thing and not save any for her. Wear your glasses. You leave the TVs on all day. Too bright, she says. I am guilty of that. I don't sleep very well if we don't set the sleep timer because I keep the TV too goddamn bright. Listen to this. Hey, you guys thought you had a good girl. You guys thought you had a hell of a partner. You thought you had a sugar mama. Listen to this shit. I'm a Walmart Plus member if you want anything for their Black Friday stuff. What does your girl do? My girl's a Walmart Plus member. Suck my dick. I'm just bragging. Like I said, my girl's a Walmart Plus member. What does yours do? Exactly. Now, that's not to say I don't have my own accomplishments that I can't brag about a little bit. After all, I am both a Sam's Club and Costco member. Some people have one. Some people like the finer things in life on both sides of the street. Thank you very much. I haven't gone all year to one of them. I would say I've been to Costco. I'm not sure I've been to Sam's Club this year. Sam Show says, damn, she's a high roller, right? Exactly. You know, I wasn't feeling well once. I was kind of sick. I can't remember what my problem was. I was probably being a pussy. And I think I was getting a really bad cold. And SP used her Walmart Plus to have a bunch of goodies delivered to my house. Because that's what you get as a Walmart Plus member, right? Exactly. Das Optic Nerve says, my old lady sucks. Compared to mine, she does. Taste Fairy Iolto says, well, la-ti-da. Ryobi says, so you waste money. Yes, a fortune. What is it, like $130 a year? I do, you know what? Give me a moment. We got about 10 minutes left. Give me a moment. I'm going to show you guys it's going to be something that's going to be a game changer in our relationship. Just give me a second. MSO says, yeah, but do you have Amazon Prime? Fuck yeah. I also buy the annual music subscription. So just give me a second. I'm going to show you guys something that's going to change your opinion of me forever. Hold on. All right, look, I'm not one to flex. I don't like to show off for you guys. I don't like to I don't like to lose my everyman status. But I got to show you this just so I can feel like I'm, part of your world, part of your club. I know that you guys are going to think, no fucking way with this guy, right? We thought... You're going to be like, wow, I thought he was one of us, right? I want to start small. First, a quick trip, quick rewards card, obviously. That's, I don't even want to tell you how many visits I have on the account. You know how I told you that I am a Costco member? Now, there is my Costco. And you're like, wow, Aaron's an everyman. Aaron's one of us. Aaron's, a regular guy, Costco, likes to buy in bulk. Take a look. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm an executive member. I do. I look fat in that picture, too. That was back in 2019. I still looked like a fat bag of shit. But, hey, at least I had the same amount of hair. That's a win. I think that means I think my baby got my other membership from my Costco executive thing. She'll probably text me to confirm. But, yeah, I think she's my other member on my executive card. So, yeah. Costco executive member. I'm sorry. Those of you who thought I was a man of the people, I'm sorry. Got a little bit of the bougie Costco executive card. It's unbelievable. And then also, I'm a Sam's Club Plus member. It's just, look, I mean, when you're a Plus member, you get a little something extra. You get a little bit better treatment. It's just one of those things. I don't want this to change our relationship. I don't want you to stop seeing me as a man of the people. I'm still just like you. I've just got a way higher class Costco membership. That's all. Again, I don't want that to get in the way of what we have. MSO says, I bet he has a Piggly Wiggly card. I do not. There are no Piggly Wigglies around here. Bapa Shab says, so you get food with the rewards and become obese as a result. How is that an own? Richard Head says, show your Tater of the Month Club card. I don't think that's something. MSO says, where's the American Express Black card? I don't have an American Express Black card, and I don't typically keep my credit cards in my wallet. I keep like my debit card and my business account card in my wallet. I don't keep my credit cards with me, but I do have a really heavy, what's the heavy Chase travel and dining card? So I don't have the American Express Black card MSO. I'm not quite that far up there, but get lots of travel rewards for my one vacation a year. Taste Fairy Iolto says more like plus sized member. It's not okay. That's mean spirited. That almost seems like it's out of bitterness. Amy says, that's why Matt married me. I'm a Walmart Plus member. I get the delivery 3 times a week. Haven't been in the store forever. A lot of flexing going on tonight. Lot of flexing. I don't like it. We got to get back to humility. Mel Gibson, after 12 beers, says the Costco card looks powdery. Did April use it regularly? Hold on a minute. Now I got to look. Mel Gibson, after 12 beers, just makes a retarded, shitty joke. And I go, wait, does it really? Holy shit, let's run around the block. No, it's not very powdery. No, I don't think so. As you know from her arrest, she was using her own debit cards that had all the cocaine on them. Of course. That's how April do. That's how she do. Leah says, I'm super late to the show. What did I miss? You missed the audience being incredible and getting almost halfway into tomorrow night's goal. I appreciate that. SP says, I don't want your weird chicken sausage pizza, not my combo. No. I got one chicken pizza because my oldest likes chicken on her pizza, and I got one sausage pizza. I didn't combinate them. And then she says, you were in jail. Oh, yes. She's saying that I should stop flexing with my Costco and Sam's Club Plus executive cards because I was in jail. That's actually a pretty good point. Pretty good point. Now, wait a minute. Leah says, I'm super late to the show. What did I miss? And then Das Optic Nerve says, have you seen this show? Nothing. You know, I do try to make the two shows different because the audience is much smaller for the evening show. So for the evening show, I try to make it more of a casual hangout where I'm in the chat and I'm having fun with everybody. The morning show is more of like, it's a big audience. I gotta, thousands of people are going to watch it throughout the course of the morning. So I got to do more of like a morning show presentation. People are on their way to work. They want to be distracted and all that stuff. I come in here for the evening show trying to do, be a little more friendly, a little more one-on-one, a little more work in the room. It's my Matt Rife crowd work show. And what do? You tell her that she missed nothing because that's how the show works. How dare you? Leah says, I prefer the evening show. I'm just a lot more likable fella on the evening show. Just more down to earth, more relatable. We drop the facade. She says, I like the chat better. Oh, so it had nothing to do with me. All right. Well, I just thought maybe that's why you liked it. I got to say, you guys are incredible. Barely have a goal for tomorrow morning. Barely have a goal for tomorrow evening. Really, all we have left to knock out is Thursday morning. So thank you guys so much. Unbelievable. Appreciate you being here. Had a lot of fun tonight. We've got an awesome show for you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Before you leave, hit like. That's important. These evening shows have been, teetering numbers-wise for a while now. I would say even before football started. So hit like, hit subscribe, get us in that algorithm, if you will. And let's have a fun one tomorrow night and wrap up these evening shows proper. Like, subscribe, follow. I'm getting the hell out of here. Have a great rest of your night. I'll see you tomorrow morning.